the mother of the bride and then the auntie came in shouting, because what you to do now? I'm like, ma, after I a picture, ma, with Siamis. And then they've paid so much money for pictures. I was like, ma, me patchum. I go, and then I was looking at the makeup artist. I was telling my head, this is your fault.
Yeah.
Anytime, flash.
Most of people who start out in photography, they think that it is a must to get a flash and it's a must to actually use it.
Can you believe, currently, I can meet somebody, like, they're shooting an event outdoor. The person has a flash, and when I see it, like, I cringe. Like, baby, yummy.
Like, it's not right.
I'm like, there's a lot of light outside. Why are you using flash?
And what hits me harder, when they actually pointed towards the subject, like there's a bare flash, like boom, like that.
When I cringe and like I get frustrated, I compose myself and I say, probably he doesn't know.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Hope you're doing great. This is your boy Kobishos, and in today's video, yet again, I'm right in front of your faces with another session of a segment where we go into the lives of creatives and we talk to them, and as they motivate us with their stories, we can also equip ourselves with the stories and motivate ourselves so that we can pursue our dreams. And I've been your host, just like in the previous one and subsequent ones, Kobishos, and I'm here with the wonderful photographer, and I'm going to leave it to him just like I always do. I don't touch anything. I don't take it away from him. He's going to give us a brief introduction to who he is and in the creative space where exactly he fits in. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir.
So yeah, just as I said, we would definitely like to know your name. I mean, just tell us everything. Some of you may know him, others may not. So I just want you to just make it blank and start from the top.
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity. I know it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
I have been wanting to meet up with you and probably create some content, shoot something.
And finally, we've actually met.
I think that's something that's I like to put out there, that anything that you believe in, anyone you like to work with, anything you want to do, just keep it up there, pray about it. And you never know when you might meet the person or actually get to work with the person. So positive thoughts, positive vibes always.
Yeah.
So thanks for the opportunity, guys.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. In fact, we are actually honored by your presence over here, and we know that we are going to really learn a lot from your stories that you have to share. And I'm pretty sure that you have a lot to tell us.
I hope so.
Okay, so into the introduction.
Yes. My name is Kwesi Asante Ejapon.
Okay.
But I know a lot of people would say you're called Kweku, but I'm actually not a Kweku. The Kweku is attached to the name because of the because of Kingkwekuananse. So we know Kingkwekuananse story and everything. There's no Kwesiananse, so I wanted to keep that and have the Kingkwekuananse.
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw a lot of light on how I came up with that name. Lots of people have been asking me.
Yeah, definitely.
So back in the day when I started doing photography, actually I started with Nija Bing of Lighter Photography. Shout outs to Nija Bing. He made me into the person I started to become in photography. He did a lot in terms of getting me to get into photography, the scene, appreciate it, and that is where my love for photography started.
Nija Bing is actually one of the pioneers of photography that is really respected. I mean, he's amazing. I've seen his work and it's wonderful.
He's amazing. And so I was working with him. I was his assistant one day, and we're in the studio. They were out actually, and I was the only one in the studio. And the lady came by to make some inquiries. She was Nigerian. So she came up and I was the only one there. So she left her a message and then she asked for my name.
Okay.
And I told her Kwesi Asante. So that next time she calls, she can say, oh, when I came over, I spoke to this person.
Yeah.
But when I went, so fast forward, we're in the office one time and then the call came and then my team, Nija Bing and his cousin were working together. And he came and said, who is Kingkwekuananse in this place? And I'm like, nobody's Kingkwekuananse. But he said the lady described the person and the description fits me.
You, yeah.
So like, you are Kwesi Asante. So we're from the Kingkwekuananse. I'm like, I gave her my name, but I think the lady, because she's Nigerian, she had Kingkwekuananse. So from there, they started calling me Kingkwekuananse, teasing me with it. And then I kind of added the king to it to just add a certain different ring to it, and that's how come I started the brand.
Interesting.
It's very interesting story.
It's very funny how people coin their names and what inspires it.
Exactly.
From one of the subsequent sessions I had with Miss Toyish, a model and also an influencer, she gave us a brief story about how she got her name. It was really funny. It was a special person in her life. And I think they were just admitted into Kingkwekuananse. And when they came through, I think someone was actually making fun of him. and the person, instead of calling her a mannequin or let's say a cartoon Barbie, the person rather referred to her as a toy.
Oh, okay.
Indirectly, he didn't mean any harm or any kind of defamation, but it was actually to describe her as a damsel or these Disney characters like Cinderella, Snow White, and what have you. And she was pissed. That's what she actually said. But after the guy actually explained to her how he actually meant, then I think she thought into herself and she rather, felt like I could as well, pick it up. And it actually made a lot of sense. So to just stylize it or to add some spice to it, she added the miss and the ish. So Miss Toyish. It's very interesting how people get their brand names.
Lots of people are asking me, why Kingkwekuananse? Why Kingkwekuananse? And then, so those of you who ask in the future, I'll refer you to this video and then you can get to know the story. So I'm happily married. Actually, May 26th will be my 4th year of being happily married to an amazing and remarkable individual. Wow. She's amazing. She has been an amazing part of my journey from the beginning because she supported me from day one. She was there when I bought my first camera because she was even the one who actually facilitated the purchase of my first camera.
Interesting.
Because I was working as a graphic designer when I quit working with Nija Bing.
Okay.
So that's what I was doing photography on the side. And December hit and my boss was like, we're entering a new year, so your contract has ended. Don't come again. This is your letter, your money and everything.
Your release letter.
She was the first person I went to when we're dating. I got home. I got to a place and I told her, honey, okay, I wasn't calling her honey then, but you know what I mean. So I told her that this is the situation. So the first thing she asked me, which I bless her for, was like, Kwesi, what do you want to do?
It's not what are you going to do?
She's
what
like,
do you want to do? There's a difference, yes.
And then that's when I knew that this woman
was ready to support. Was just the one
to support me.
Yeah.
And then I told her that I want to do photography full time. She knew I've been trying to purchase a camera, but I hadn't saved up that much. Yeah. So she told me that, okay, there's this camera I was eyeing. I want to give a big shout out to Kingkwekuananse Photography. He's an amazing person. He's been like a mentor for me for some time now. I go to him for advice when editing, how to do this. He's an amazing person. So he was selling his 5D Mark II.
Okay.
And then I wanted to buy it, but I didn't have enough money. But he told me something that when I spoke to him, I called him, he felt that we had a connection and he wants to be there for me and help me. So lots of offers have come, but he feels like he should hold it. And when my money is up, I can come and buy it. I was like, that is actually something very nice somebody can do for me. So I told him I won't disappoint him. I'll save the money. So he put away all the offers and then he told me that because I'm waiting for you to get the money.
Wow.
So I told my girlfriend, she told me that she put up half of the money. So she put out the rest. But it's a loan which I have to pay back. So I gave her assurance.
Of course.
Called Kingkwekuananse, purchased the camera. I think that was the first camera I officially bought. I think was 4,000 CDs.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, 5D Mark II. That was my first camera. And then the lens I purchased with it was a Canon 50 1.4 lens.
Wow. I
shot almost everything with that lens.
Yes.
Like everything. So any money that I made, I saved up, and then I was able to pay my girlfriend back the money half of the money she gave me.
Yes.
And then that's her journey. That's how everything
started out.
Up and down, because I used to rent cameras, go borrow cameras from people. I've been through a lot, like the struggle. Like unlike some people, I didn't really have somebody to say, okay,
start you
do
up
this,
like that,
do that. So when I met Kingkwekuananse, at when I did, he was actually kind of good. Helped me because he do it this way. He was actually the first person who took me through shooting a wedding and shooting just natural light. I always used to use flash.
Yeah.
Anytime flash.
You know, most of people who start out in photography, they think that it is a must to get a flash and it's a must to actually use it.
Can you believe, like, currently, I can meet somebody, like, they're shooting an event outdoor. The person has a flash, and when I see it, like, I cringe. Like, baby, yummy.
Like, it's not right.
I'm like, there's a lot of light outside. Why are you using flash?
And you know, what hits me harder, when they actually pointed towards the subject, like this, and bare flash, like boom, like that.
When I cringe and like I get frustrated, I compose myself and I say, probably he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Like same as when I also started, there's a lot of things I didn't know. Same reason, same thing. Probably the person doesn't know. So sometimes I walk up to the person, and one thing I don't condemn, I don't judge. I'll ask you, why are you shooting am I using light outdoors? And the person says, oh, I want more light. I'm like, oh, try it this way. You don't actually need this light. Turn it off and see. Then the person will actually be surprised. Oh, wow, it actually looks better than
using the flash.
So sometimes it's your approach, and not everybody. Don't think somebody's stupid just because you know better than them.
Yes, or they are not doing things like you do.
Probably that's the person's style. You never know. So just ask them, and then don't interject and say,
hey,
don't
find out something
stop
new.
this, don't do it. Yeah. So that's one thing too that I noticed.
Yes.
So long story short, my journey through photography, my wife has been an instrumental part.
And I think she actually still is, because checking your work out, in fact, there isn't any 3 scrolls that I wouldn't see her.
That's actually something that I have come to like doing. I think every month I like to have a picture of the two of us.
Yes, I noticed that.
Yeah, I love her so much. At first, it was actually not,
it's clear.
Not like
you don't
that.
even have to say it.
I love her so much. Honey, if you're watching this is for me to you. I love you so much. And thank you for supporting me. I know not many people have the support that I have.
Yeah.
In terms of their partners supporting them. I know it's not easy, because the job that we do, it's very difficult. Being a one woman, beautiful woman, as you can see, and everything, and they trusting and supporting you. And that's one thing, she trusts me no matter what I am doing. And I like to, I flirt a lot. I touch, because I like to have fun with the people I'm shooting.
To make people feel at ease.
I'm an extrovert. I have fun.
Yes.
I like to talk. I like to have fun. I like to be in the moment. And I think that's what has driven the how I have grown in my photography. That's the kind of person I am. So I take that energy to every shoot.
And it actually affects the people that you work with.
Exactly. And then,
in a good way.
And then she lets me be me. When she's in the scene, sometimes I used to take her to lots of my shoots. Back in the day when I was doing portraits and everything, when she's free, I go with her. And then sometimes she can come and say, honey, relax, calm down. You are getting so excited, calm down. Then you
get yourself back in order.
She's been a very supportive person in my life so much. And I pray always that anybody in a creative space should have a partner who understands their work, because it's a very hard, because I've been through it. It hasn't been smooth. It has been difficult. Not having anybody to look up to help you say, do this, how to edit it this way, do this, and having to learn the hard way and everything. Her support has been amazing. Yeah. So I pray every time that when I meet people, like, they also have the support. Because I kind of believe that you also have that same support. I do. In your life as well. So big ups to you.
But when I am on the other side answering questions, then I will have that time and that chance to actually say
God bless all the partners out there who are supporting us creatives. Be amazing and do what we love to do. So enough about
all that.
All that. So that's how the journey started for me. And I have been. I love photography. I noticed that when I was shooting, because I used to start doing lots of portraits. Even wedding photography started, I think, just a couple of years ago. Like, I think 4 years ago for me. I used to start doing lots of portraits. I love shooting beautiful women. I love that a lot. It brought me so much joy.
In fact, it actually attracts the audience, you know.
Exactly.
You need to. It makes the work even much more easy. It's like it's a plus.
Yes.
And getting your lighting right.
The ones who usually bring you the gigs and everything. True. Yeah, they connect you to lots of events and everything. So it was an amazing part of, like, meeting people, meeting beautiful women and shooting them. That's how it started. And then I ended up shooting a friend's wedding in church. Another person. Then I realized that I love love. Yeah. So when I'm in the moment of creating beautiful images for couples, I find joy in that. Okay. So I ended up turning my attention towards weddings a lot and doing portraits less. But everybody who shoots weddings know that shooting a wedding comes with shooting portraits, food, products, everything, food photography, architecture. Everything. There's a lot encompassed into the whole wedding scene. So if you're a wedding photographer, you're doing practically everything. So it wasn't like I just moved away totally from portraits, but I concentrated more on weddings because of how it made me feel. Yeah. And the fact that I love, I have a beautiful marriage, and when I see people, young people wanting a meeting and wanting to get married, it sparks something in me. Yeah. And some of the beautiful moments when you are shooting and then the bride is saying something nice to the husband, or the husband is saying something nice to the bride, the vows they exchange, it always takes me back to my wedding. And then sometimes I just pause, take my phone and text my wife. Like, it takes me back, and then it rekindles the love I have for her. So I think that's something that always takes me back to weddings, because a lot of people, if you ask, will say weddings are a lot of work, which is true.
Yeah, it is.
From beginning in the morning to when you leave. It's
Even
a lot
sometimes
of
before the wedding,
Wedding
there's a
starts.
pre-wedding photo shoot.
there's a lot
You
that
get
gets
to meet-
involved.
I
You
mean,
get
a whole lot.
there's drama, the mothers yelling at you, the family, the fight
Understood.
here and there, your gear. There's a lot that goes into shooting a wedding. But at the end of the day, I still want to go back.
Yes.
So that's what people are doing because it pays. Because of course, wedding photography pays. But apart from the money that comes your way,
If the passion is
I
there.
love it.
In fact, it even pushes you forward and makes you even learn the more.
Exactly.
Because people would rather choose to shoot weddings just because of the fact that it's a cash cow. A quick way to make money. Sometimes it's a means to an end. They get into it to get what they want, and they branch into something else. But rather looking at it this way, that you're taking up weddings as an avenue to actually experience all the genres in photography that you can find in food, photography, fashion, portraiture, all of that are along the line. If you see it that way, it makes you a much better person to see it in a better perspective.
In
a way better perspective.
Every kind of genre in photography you are doing in a different.
It makes you really respect it.
Exactly.
Because you go through a lot with weddings, and coming out of that and still wanting to go back.
It even teaches you self-constraints. Passion, patience, how to communicate with
tolerance.
When I came out, I shared this experience with you. I think last year I shot a wedding in Swejo.
Okay.
And then you know how usually when you're shooting a wedding, sometimes the makeup artist would take a lot of time. I know it's not their fault.
They sometimes take the whole time. And even leaving you to take the pictures, they will still be standing in front of the brides.
When they are done, they take their phones and then they'll even alert you to come and do. And then we are behind time. The family will come and then yell at you because when they come, it's your time to take pictures, and it gets very frustrating. So the wedding in Shredo, it was my turn to take pictures, and then the mother of the bride and then the auntie came in shouting because what you have to do now? I'm like, ma, I finna make a picture, ma, with Siamis, and then they've paid so much money for pictures. I was like, ma, me patchum. And then I was looking at the makeup artist. I was telling my head, this is your fault. I was so furious, but what can you do?
You can do nothing about it.
So the
time is already spent.
So I think just 5 minutes I just took a few pictures of the bride and they went. I was so furious because I feel like I didn't get time enough to be creative to do a lot of things.
I know how that feels.
But we went to the church, we shot everything. Eventually, everything came out nice. I submitted the pictures to them. The groom called me, the bride called me. They were amazed. They were, because it was last minute. They called me last minute to come cover their wedding, and then they hadn't heard of me, and somebody recommended. It was actually a lady I shot portraits of, who recommended that. I shot with this guy. He has his passion.
And enthusiasm is just
he's
right
amazing.
For it.
Go for him, and now he's into weddings as well. So go for him. So they booked me without having any prior experience with me, and then they loved. So the guys will follow me. Everything I post, he's commenting. They love me. So the bride's sister was actually getting married also. She contacted me because my sister's wedding the pictures were amazing. So I want you to do the same thing for me.
That's beautiful.
So I went back there to the same house, met the same family. When I went there, the mother who was yelling at me last year was like,
now showering a lot of praise on you.
She actually was praising me. That day when I entered, she actually prayed for me. She said some amazing things. Wow. If I could cry that day, I actually would have cried because I was like, I felt how happy she was that even though she put a lot of pressure on me, which
that day
sometimes it's not their fault.
It's not their fault. I was just about to say that.
They're calling them from the church and everything, and then they come and then they pour it all on you. So being a wedding photographer, you have to learn a lot of things, patience and be professional. They're upset, but what would you gain if you yell at the bride's mother or yell at the bride because you didn't get to shoot your pictures?
It's totally wrong.
Fine, it's not your fault. You're angry. You've laid your anger on them. But at the end of the day, if the bride won't smile again or cries, you've ruined her day. So I feel like
plus it even affects the future of your relationship with them.
Exactly. And then you can't even get any good pictures because if you've read a bride's day, the wedding is like
it's messed up.
It's messed up.
It's messed up.
So I felt that I gave them something valuable that day. That she poured out her frustration on me, and then I held it all in, and then I gave them smiles and everything, and at the end of the day the pictures came out and they were excellent. So the lady, their mother and auntie were so happy. They felt like everyone was so happy with me, like we became like one big family. He made fufu for me, I ate and everything, and so today we still talk and then everything. So being a wedding photographer is a lot. Even being a photographer actually, there's certain skills that you need to learn. And I feel like we don't go to school for these things, but there's a whole lot of information on YouTube. Like people have done it. So take the time, learn the craft that you are in, and then grow yourself and be better at it. Because at the long run, it will pay for you. Yeah.
It's going to pay a lot of dividends, because I mean the kind of passion that you put into it means that you've actually accepted the role of being a photographer. In fact, being a photographer means a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think being a photographer goes beyond just holding the camera.
It goes way beyond that.
I mean, yourself,
yeah.
how you relate with people, how welcoming are you, and how receptive are you of people.
Yeah.
It will tell, I mean, whoever will be watching you a lot about yourself.
Yeah.
Let alone picking up the camera and taking pictures of people, making sure that people are in their best ways, their best composure.
What I think most people don't even know, that when you are behind the camera shooting and directing and doing all your things, people behind the scenes are watching you.
Yeah, they
See,
are.
I have people walk up to me and then say, "Hey, Charlie, bro. Hey, bro. Charlie, you are..." See, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be bold, yell. Because it happens.
To try and
Sometimes you
bring
have to
things
command
together. Yeah.
authority at the scene. So sometimes I get to yell at guests, "Hey, this and this and that," because they are missing the moment, they are missing the shot.
Yes.
Then they're there to have fun, but they are there to document. So if something's obstructing, as much as you like to be respectful and nice to guests, sometimes you have to be bold and then. So sometimes I yell at them and everything, but they come back and like, "Charlie, bro, Charlie, you yell at me, but I love your energy. I love your energy.
The reason why
I
you do
saw
it,
this. I understand why you did this."
Yes.
And then they come and see the pictures and they're like, "Hey, Charlie, bro, thank you." I get so many comments like this, and then it's something that you have to learn.
Yes.
Because working with people is very difficult.
It is.
It's not easy at all.
It's difficult than anything.
Actually, you're working, people are looking at you. So sometimes someone can call you and say, "Bro, I was at a friend's wedding that you shot, and then you did so amazing. I saw it from beginning to end, and I saw that you have passion for what you do, and then you understood what you were doing." Because I am married, I know how much work it is to plan a wedding, the pressure, the things you go through. So when somebody puts together a wedding, I want to be the last person to make their wedding not to work, to mess up their day. I should be the one to help them, their wedding come to life and be happy about it.
And even when things are going wrong, you take the responsibility.
I want to be the one that will call and say, because I shot this wedding of the lady's Ghanaian and then the groom was Nigerian. They live in the UK. They came down. Big ups to this videography company, Timeline Creatives. They have been supportive from day one. When I met them, they've given me some my top clients. Clients who live in the States, in the UK, overseas, who come down, want to have their weddings. They call them and then they tell them that, "Oh, there's this photographer that we work with. If you're looking at for videography, check his work out." And then they end up liking my work and then end up working together. So God bless you for all the things that you've done and believing in me and helping my brand get to where it is. Go check them out. They are amazing.
Great.
So I was trying to make a point that one couple that we shot together. So they were doing a videography and I was doing pictures.
Yeah.
The guys in Nigeria, we know how Nigerians are very energetic and then they are very outspoken. They are out there. They are very.
I mean, they are so good in a lot of things.
The energy is. The guy had so much energy and
he
wanted his wedding to go a taken away. He called me and said he spent so much on his wedding, so I should give him a discount. And he talked to me so much, and I gave him a discount. Got to the wedding day, and I realized that Charlie, it was a big wedding, and I was like, I should have charged more.
Yeah.
But my charging area. So I was like, one thing too that I always try to say, no matter what, if somebody calls you and says, "I want to book your services," what Jim is saying, and you say 500 CDs, and then you reduce it to 200 CDs, and you agree, make sure. One thing I do, I make sure that if it's 1,000 CDs job that I give you a discount of 500, I'll do 1,000 CDs job for you, despite the fact that I gave you a discount.
Yeah.
Because I'm not looking at you. If I do the work for you and it goes well and it's amazing, the people who are around you, your friends and family who see the work, who will love it, will ask, "Oh, who did the work for you?" They most often won't ask, "Oh, Oji was saying," and I say, "About this kind of saying." First of all, they attract to your work and they'll come to you. So I feel like even though, because you agreed to give the person a discount.
Yeah.
So just because you
look
give the
at
person
the
a
bigger
discount,
picture, and I think it's an investment. Just invest into it.
Just because
as long as
you
you've
give the person
agreed,
a discount,
just to put up your best.
Put out your best, because you don't know who is looking at you.
True.
You get it, and that's an avenue for you to market and sell yourself. So I gave my discount, came there, and then honestly, a lot of things went wrong at their wedding. Like their planning and everything was. The guy was actually
really
mad, frustrated. Then he was yelling at the wedding, and I was there calming the bride down, doing this.
Yeah.
They had their son there, who was all over the place. But I was trying to calm situations, doing my best. And at the end of the day, when I gave them the pictures, the guy called me on phone. He said, "Yo, Kwasi, thank you very much. God bless you. Like you and then Derek, the video guys, Charlie, you are amazing. Like if I'm to single out my other vendors, it's you two. God bless you. I know like, I'm a pain in the ass. You saw me on that day, which he was actually. But thank you for holding everything down. And I know like, it was frustrating. I even wanted to punch somebody. He was very furious because a lot of things went bad. But thank you very much, and I appreciate you, and God bless you. And then his wife to date like messages me and talks to me. So just anything you are doing, look at the bigger picture. And then know that you're not only a photographer, you are there to be the best version of yourself. So when you go anywhere, when anything you are shooting, portraits, weddings, events, just be your best self. You don't know who is watching, and it's going to go a long way to push your brand to the next level as well.
Right. He has actually said a whole lot, and I didn't even have to say so much. And I think one very important thing I would love to know is your ultimate advice to anyone who is starting out in photography. What would be your should I say, your best ever advice? Let's say you are talking to your younger self. What would you say to yourself 5 years, 10 years ago?
I would say just start. Start. I've also recently started putting out content on my YouTube. I used to call it Pro Tip Tuesday. I just used to shoot it on my phone and then post on my Instagram story. And I've been holding off. Like, I know YouTube is a big platform, but I've been holding off. But one thing is, just start. Because sometimes you're holding off on sharing something. But when you share it, the comments that people get, people tell you that, oh, bro, sir, this information changed my life. Or I was at a place I didn't know what to do, but this thing helped me. So just start. Just do it. Because if you don't do it, how do you get better?
Yeah.
Because when I look at myself back then, my wife will tell you, like, every year I get into, she tells me, oh, honey, your work has improved. That is the thing. That's the ultimate goal. That as you start, and then you keep constantly doing what you're doing, and then have passion for it. That's one thing. So always have passion for what you're doing, no matter what you are doing, wherever you find yourself, right in the corner where you are. There's this verse in the Bible. I think it's John 9:4. I think it says, "As I'm awake, I'll do the job of the one who sent me." Yeah, you see a photographer, whatever you're doing, graphic designer, whatever you are doing. You've said it to yourself that this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So make sure that you put in your best. Your all. Have passion for it. Your passion is what will drive you to excel at whatever you are doing.
Yeah.
Learn the craft. Learn your gear, the settings, whatever tool that you're using into your craft. Make sure you've studied and learn it. And if you don't have that opportunity, get close to people who are already in the business or who are already doing it or who you admire. Get close to them. I'm sure that there'll be somebody out there who would be willing to like help you, to show you a few things, one or two here and there. So just tag along, like just study with somebody and then see how they do their things. It's going to help you become better at what you are doing.
Yeah.
Just don't be at your corner and then, because the world is going, things are happening. Who is inspiring you?
Yeah.
There's this thing that I've written down in my books where it says that you become the people you surround yourself with.
Yes.
If, for instance, I shoot weddings, I shoot portraits, which people am I feeding my eyes with? What am I looking at on Instagram, in magazines, in books, online, on YouTube? If I'm following top amazing photographers, top Ghanaian photographers, top Nigerian photographers in Canada and the rest of the world, and I see how they are shooting, the new techniques, the lighting and everything. I like clean images, lots of whites in my images. Which people are shooting like how I want. I see those people, then I ask myself, how are they shooting? How are they getting this edit? How are they shooting like this? What kind of lighting system are they using? Then you are feeding yourself with those things. So when I find myself in a situation where I'm shooting, all those things play back, and then you get to remember the things that you fed in your memory, and then you get to implement them on your shoots yourself. So always don't be idle. Feed yourself. Learn things. Get closer to people, and then get better at what you are doing. Yeah, I know it's not easy because a lot of Ghanaian photographers are not forthcoming. A lot of creatives are not forthcoming. You message them, you hit them up. They're not willing to help you because I've had my fair share of that when I started out. But look at me now. I'm not there yet, but I am going.
You're moving forward.
I'm moving forward. You get it?
Yeah.
I know I inspire a lot of people, but haven't always inspired somebody, but now I'm inspiring somebody. It didn't start from yesterday. It started from some years back. So whatever you are doing, start and keep doing it. Keep pushing it. I wasn't a videographer. basically photography. But I started shooting short videos on my phones, and people kept telling me that do this.
You're good.
You're
You
good.
can do it.
You are good. And I started shooting. There's this thing I've been doing on my wedding, giving couples called highlight videos. So basically, they are short videos of the day, highlights of the day from the beginning to the end, in let's say a 5 to 10 minutes video, instead of the long 1 hour. And I realized that most of the couples who are booking me from last 2 years to this time appreciate that, because at my wedding, I watched my wedding video just once because it's long, and then you can't really share to anybody because it's like 1 hour.
Yeah.
But a 10 minutes video you can easily share to your family and friends who didn't come, and it made sense to me. And when I proposed that idea to some of my couples, they actually go for that, and it's also not too expensive as compared to full video. So that's something too. And then I only got the idea from researching other photographers, other wedding photographers, what they are doing, their business. I'm incorporating it into mine. I wouldn't have gotten this information if I hadn't done my research. So always look to other people who are doing amazing things, and then check what they are doing and see what you can also implement, and then broaden
your scope of what you know.
Of what you know. Yeah.
I mean, you've really been insightful, and you've elaborated on a lot of things. But this is very important.
Yeah.
This is one thing that I want to actually have you talk about, which is very imperative. I mean, when you're starting out, not everybody, even if you are the best of all photographers, I mean, collectively, there's still going to be a couple of people who wouldn't appreciate your work.
Oh, of course.
People wouldn't see your work as much as others would see it, and they wouldn't appreciate it and understand the in-depth meaning of how much work went to it, and even the outcome, how it came about. So how do you handle criticism? I mean, it's something that we all face, but how do you personally handle it?
I'm going to answer that by saying that know yourself.
Okay.
Know yourself. When you walk out and somebody says this person is loud or obnoxious or too low, would you say, oh yes, true, this is me? Like, you should know yourself.
Yeah.
I know myself. I know I like to talk a lot. My wife knows this. She tells me all the time, you see, relax. When she realizes I'm talking too much. When I go to a place, I like to be noticed. I like to look good. I like to dress. I carry that a lot into when I'm shooting. Some of my couples call me they tag me as my fashionable photographer. Photographer with swag. That is my image. I always want to look my best because I know that I look good.
Yeah.
And I carry that everywhere I go. And then that comes with certain kind of confidence. Not everybody likes somebody who's confident.
No.
But if you know yourself and you know where you're going and you know how it impacts you, what you are doing, don't listen to. Because see,
I'm sure some people will misconstrue it for being rude.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. When this guy, the owner of Apple, Steve Jobs, when he started, people were saying he was cocky, he was arrogant, he was this, he was that. But look at what the legacy he has built. Fine, of course. Sometimes
I mean,
it will come off as that.
Don't expect everybody to like you.
Yeah. I'm not saying that take this advice and say that me, I'm confident. I don't listen to what everybody's saying, like whatever you're saying. But
it becomes arrogance then.
Yeah. But there's this adage in tree that says a new track man name say yeah. When I was talking, I made mention of a few people that who were up there, who I work with, who I go sometimes to ask about certain things in photography, advise me a lot. Sometimes I post something, they'll call me or say, "See, this picture was this." I won't say, hey, this is my job, this and this and that. Okay, I listen to them, I sit back and I'm like, okay, this person has seen it this way. How can I also see it, how he sings and see how I can make? Because at the end of the day, you want to be better.
Yeah.
You want to be better.
Yeah.
So if somebody who loves you and then who you also respect calls you up and says, "Oh, Anka, if you shot this thing like this or you did this way, it would have been better," and then you feel like the person is being some way towards you, how would you grow? Because we all need somebody, because it's a blessing actually to have somebody call you up and say, "Oh, bro, this picture is nice, but I feel like if we did it this way, it would have been." There's this guy that he says our friendship is based on that. I'm gonna put Frozen Second.
Okay.
He's an amazing photographer. Like, he's so good. His portraits are like
wonderful,
out of this world. Like, he's amazing. That is how our friendship started.
Okay.
Like, I see his work, and then I shot with him one time, and then we became not like friends, but we're okay. But acquaintance. When I see his picture, I can call him and say, "Oh, if you did this way, I feel like this. That your picture, the lighting was here or some way. I mean, this is my opinion anyway." So every time he used to call me up and say, he called me one time and said, "Bro, this thing you did for me helped me so much," because I thought I was good at what I was doing, but anytime you call me up and say this thing, I go back and sit, and then I revisit my work, and I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, I need to do it this way.